Fernandez?
Yeah, my first name is Fernandez. Some people think that's a surname because it ends with Z,
Yeah.
but now it's my first name.
And what time is there now?
Now it's 13 past 9 in the evening. Yeah, so you thought I was in Sydney time, yeah, because it said 9:30, but we
Yeah.
have different time zone in Adelaide. We have 3 time zones in Australia. So Phoebe is my nickname, yeah, it's not 5, it's Phoebe. Yeah, Phoebe is my nickname. And my dog's name is Peyton, and Peyton is from Hawaii. He lived in 3 countries. So he's originally from Hawaii, and then he moved to Brazil, and then he moved to Australia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's a member of the family, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Is he near you right now?
He was here, but I was afraid he was gonna bark.
Oh,
He's upstairs now.
Okay, I have one doggy as well.
Do you?
And she's like a sausage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say she's my first daughter. My first
yeah?
daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, practicing with her. How old is she now?
7 years.
7 years, all right.
They say it's 3 times for dogs. You have to count it. 7.
Yeah. Like 7 years in 1 year for dog, equivalent to 7 years for us. That's what they say. Yeah. So yeah, my dog's like 100 years old now.
Oh.
So he eats a kind of special food, you know. We buy like a kangaroo sausage because we are in Australia, yeah. People eat kangaroo, yeah. People eat kangaroo, but we don't, yeah. But Peyton does. So we buy like a kangaroo sausage. Is for dogs. It's not for human consumption. Yeah? So we chop the sausage pretty small, and we mix with another sausage that has ham and pea. So it's like a quite healthy diet for him, you know. So maybe that's why he's living so strong and old, and you know. But he's doing well still. Yeah.
How long have you been there? I watched one video. You were telling us you visited Australia first time years ago.
Yeah.
Could you tell a little bit about it?
So my first experience abroad in an English-speaking country actually was in New Zealand. So I went to New Zealand in 2003, a long time ago, as a student, like a student exchange, you know, like, first time overseas, you know, that experience. And then in 2008, I came to Australia as a student as well, but like studying my field. I am an IT professional, I work with computers. Yeah. So by that time I was doing a post-graduation in Brazil, and I was just tired of work, studying and everything. So I paused my job, I paused my life in Brazil. I still had my job in Brazil, working for a bank. And then I came to Australia and spent 7 months here. So after those 7 months, I went back to Brazil and I still studied, I finished my post-graduation, and I moved jobs a couple of times. But meantime, a lot of things happened, and I met my wife that I told you, she's from Hawaii, and I was studying Japanese because I speak English already, let's study something else. So I was studying Japanese. Yeah.
So you speak Japanese too?
I speak Japanese, and I met her online in this, like, you know, pen pal, like when you're exchange students trying to practice their Japanese. So she was living in Hawaii, I was living in Brazil, and we were trying to practice Japanese. And then,
oh my God.
Yeah, we weren't looking for love. We're just looking to practice our Japanese, but it happened, you know. She came to Brazil to visit me. She spent 1 week because she used to work in the mainland, that the US mainland. She's from Hawaiian Island, yeah. So she flew to the US mainland. She had performed her job, whatever it was, and then she flew to Brazil and spent 1 week with me. And then, like, we were definitely in love, and like I'm gonna drop everything to be with her, you know. So, and then 3 months later, I flew to Hawaii and I got married. But anyway, we were going back and forth to Hawaii and Brazil, and finally, after like 4 times going back and forth, she got a visa to live in Brazil. So she moved to Brazil with the dog, yeah, and spent 3 years in Brazil with me. And then during that time, the visa has been granted for 4 years. Yeah, that's the Australian visa, the working temporary visa. And it's been like in the 3rd year already. And they said, if you don't come to Australia, your visa is gonna expire. You have to come to Australia. So in 2013, 2 years after I got married, I flew to Australia just to validate the visa. Otherwise, I wouldn't lose the visa. Yeah? And then finally, in 2015, I moved to Australia. So now I've been living in Australia now I'm a citizen, yeah, but I came with that temporary visa. So 2 years after working and living in my state, that's South Australia, I applied for the permanent residency. And then I've been granted a permanent residency. And then after 3 years, you are in Australia as with a legal visa, living and working, you can apply for the citizenship. So that's what I did. And then I became Australian citizen in 2019. There are few differences, like with the visa things. Yeah. So with the student visa, you can only work like 20 hours per week. And they just changed this now recently because the students need to survive here. So they're allowed to work full time, but that's not, it won't continue further on, no? They will change back. So with the temporary visa that allows you to work full time, you don't have benefits like Medicare. Medicare is the health public system for Australia. Like you can go to the hospital and you won't pay any bill, yeah? They will take care of you, but not if you have that visa. So if you have that visa, you still have to pay for everything. Okay. And then when you become a permanent resident, you are eligible to access the hospital through the Medicare system, but you have to pay taxes. So when you do your tax declaration, you have to, it's discounted right from your salary, you know, like, but if you reach a specific threshold, and then you have to pay X. So people from higher income, they contribute more beyond the taxes, you know, to the system. So the whole infrastructure can work. Yeah.
Is our currency?
Australian dollar.
Oh, Australian dollar. Yes, I was checking the other day.
We don't say Australian dollar because we are in Australia. We just say dollar, yeah.
Dollar, yeah.
Yeah, but if you have to use Google to compare, for example, how much dollars, yeah, from Australia compares to reais, then you have to type Australian dollars to reais, yeah. Yes. And New Zealand is also New Zealand dollars.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as Australia. It's like maybe our dollars a little bit more than their dollars, but not too much. It's almost the same, you know.
Actually, I talked to 2 persons from New Zealand yesterday. Yeah, he is in Australia now.
All right, and is he a Kiwi or no?
Kiwi?
Yeah, like we are Aussie. Yeah, people from Australia, we are Aussie. And people from New Zealand, they're Kiwi.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm learning too much.
Yeah, you know the fruit? You know the fruit? We call kiwi fruit. We don't say kiwi for the fruit. We have to say kiwi fruit because kiwi is someone from New Zealand.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they have the kiwi bird. They have a kiwi bird, and that bird doesn't fly. It's a pretty cute bird they have in New Zealand.
Yeah, he is Kiwi. He's in Melbourne now.
All right. Yeah.